Okay, we're good. Good evening, my yogis. I hope you're all well, good, enjoying a bit of this beautiful spring weather. I'm going to be doing a bit of this flow with you tonight, but mainly just demoing a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just going to be guiding you through it. If you have anything that is like a brick, or even better, if you have a brick, just grab one, or if you have two, grab two, pop them by the top of your mat, and then coming to a comfortable seated position, however that may look like for you. So you could be kneeling, maybe you want to elevate the hips up onto a brick, maybe you want to sit cross-legged, whatever works for you, and just bring the palms into the lap on top of each other, the thumbs joining, or the hands on the back and the knees with the index and thumb together. Just closing down the eyes, letting your breath be heavy. Let everything settle. Just relaxing down into the body. Just becoming aware again of your physical body, of your breath. And through the breath, just begin to draw yourself in. To really begin to connect. Drawing in a little bit more awareness and mindfulness. Just noticing where the thoughts may be. Without trying to change anything, just let the thoughts be there in the background of the mind. Just keeping your awareness on your breath. And just observing the fluctuations. Are they short? Are they long? Are they even or uneven? Without making any drastic changes, just slowly trying to even the breath out through each inhalation and exhalation into the body. Just really allowing everything to settle. In day-to-day lives, and especially in a time like this, it's really easy to get caught up in the tricks, the rabbit holes of the mind, the thoughts. Maybe it's causing a little bit of nervousness or anxiety, or maybe you just feel a little bit all over. Being mindful of the thoughts it's a tricky thing. It's really a discipline. We do have a choice in how we want to water the garden of our mind. We can choose how we want to react to something. Do we want to water the seeds of positivity, of love, of joy, of happiness, compassion? Or do we want to water our seeds of anger and sadness, frustration? It's not that there's anything wrong with feeling any of them, but you don't necessarily need to identify them in the way that we do. It's just learning from them, observing with them. You can make those conscious efforts in the mind to water the seeds of good, and the more we water them, the more that we begin to learn a little bit more about ourselves and connect a little bit more down into our bodies, into our essence, the core of our being. We're in a light and love. And the beautiful thing about connecting with ourselves is that we get to share that with the rest of the world. I think it really is the key. One of the main goals of life is just learning how to cultivate, share that happiness that we have and that love. So joining the hands to the heart center in a prayer position, take that moment to pray for someone that you love. Pray to someone who needs your time or your energy. Praying in service to a higher energy or being or God, wherever you feel that it needs to go. Bring the hands into your third eye center. Gently bow the head down into the mat. Lift the head, slowly open your eyes, and just making your way into downward facing dog. Just begin to invite any movement into the body that feels good for you here. So maybe pedaling out through the feet, maybe moving through the spine, some little wrist rolls or spinal waves, whatever feels good for you and intuitive for your body to move into. But through each movement, just begin to connect a little bit more into the breath. Really pressing the ground away, grounding down through the palms, wrapping the shoulders back. Lifting the hips up, finding length through each vertebrae. Bend the knees here as much as you need. It's better to work towards a straight spine rather than just bending the legs to get the legs straight. One day those heels will touch the ground, but I promise you nothing magnificent happens when they get there. They just touch the ground. We're always in quite a hurry to get to the toes or somewhere else that we forget where we are or how far we've come. Once you feel even and once you feel good, just begin to find a little bit more stillness in the body. Really grounding down into the posture. Through each inhale, finding a little bit more expansion through your breath. And each exhale, finding a little bit more space and relaxation and surrender. Then slowly walk the feet forward towards the top of the mat. Toe them forward all the way. Once you get there, have the feet hip distance apart. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Let the upper body hang. Take a slight bend in the knees. Slowly ripple up through your spine. Let your head be the last thing to rise as you come to standing. Bring your toes together so that the heels are in line. Squeeze your inner thighs. Begin to engage your glutes. Draw the hands in prayer at your heart center. Close down your eyes. Lift up through Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor muscles, and engage in Uddiyana Bandha, your abdominal lock, drawing the navel up and in towards the spine and the ribs. And begin to breathe into your Ujjayi breath. So an active inhale and exhalation through your nose, creating a restriction of the back, both the throat, building heat and prana, life force into the body. And treat this like your self-practice. I'm here to guide you, but challenge as much as you would like to challenge. Play, rest, modify as much as you would like to. Most of all, just have fun with it. It's just a practice. Now when you're inhale, reach the arms high above the head. Draw the palms together, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Bend the knees as much as you need. Press the palms down into the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, extend. Exhale, step back to a high plank. Stack the shoulders on top of the wrist. Draw the chest in, tuck the tailbone. Knees come down to the mat. Come down halfway so you're supported. This is your supported chaturanga with the knees. Lower the body down. Inhale, baby cobra. Wrap the elbows into the side body, gaze up. Exhale, buttocks back to the heels. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. You're breathing here. for 1. Inhaling 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. At the end of your exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step your right foot forward, left foot forward, gaze lifts halfway. And then exhale, fold down over the legs. Really try and be active through the arms and the legs. Inhale, reach the arms high above the head, draw your palms together, gaze up to the thumbs, open up the chest and the heart. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the chest. Exhale, step back into your high plank. Pause here for a moment. So using the knees as we've just done, or if you feel ready, squeeze through the legs and the core, come down into full chaturanga, press the heels back. Pull the chest through, upward facing dog, lift your knees and thighs off the ground, really be active through the glutes and the core. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Really try to lift the hips, finding length. Keep lifting the thighs up towards the hips. 5. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left foot forward. Gaze lifts and lengthens halfway. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the arms high above the head. Gaze up to the thumbs. Take a gentle back bend. Squeeze through the legs. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold down over the legs. Inhale, gaze lifts and lengthens halfway. Plant the hands, your choice. Exhale, step or lightly jump back through your chaturanga. Draw your chest through. Inhale, upward facing dog, gaze up. Exhale to downward facing dog, lifting up from the hips. Breathing here, inhaling for 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump forward. Gaze lifts. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, palms to the gaze to the thumbs, gentle back bend to open up the front of the body. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, gaze up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, sink your hips, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump forward, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips lower, rise up through chair, Utkatasana, really press through the heels, roll your shoulders forward. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, jump or step back to your Chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, upward facing, pull the chest through, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left knee drops down to the mat, untuck the toes, reach your arms up into Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Exhale, plant the hands, frame the foot, step back, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, reach your arms all the way up, gaze comes up. Exhale, plant the hands, frame the foot, lift the knee, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Good, hold it here. Inhaling. Exhale, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, float or step forward, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips low, rise up through Utkatasana. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, extend. Exhale, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, drop your left knee down, untuck the toes, reach your arms high, palms together, gaze up to your thumbs, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, step back to a high plank. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step your left foot forward, drop your right knee down, untuck the toes, reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana, really open up the chest, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the knee, step back to a high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Holding here, inhaling for 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 'Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or float forward to the top of the mat. Gaze lifts, lengthens. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips lower, rise up through chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold down over the legs, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the spine forward, broaden through the chest and the collarbones. Exhale, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, but this time keep your back knee lifted. Drop your left heel down to the mat, rise up into your warrior 1. Draw the palms together, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, plant the hands down, frame your foot, step back. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step your left foot forward, right heel drops in and down. Reach the arms up, palms together, gaze up to the thumbs, really strong through your back leg. Exhale, plant the hands, frame the foot, step back, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Good, hold it here, breathing. For 1. 2. 2, 3, 4. Stay with your breath, good. 5. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or lightly jump forward. Gaze lifts. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips low. Rise up through chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold down over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, warrior one, right side. Right foot forward, left heel down. Reach your arms up. Keep breathing all the way up to the top. No retention in your breath. Exhale, plant the hands, frame your front foot. Step back to your high plank. Really push the ground away. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Pull the chest through, gaze up, open up the throat. Exhale, Ardha Mukha, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel in and down, reach your arms up, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, float or step forward to the top of the mat, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips low, rise up through chair, Utkatasana, squeeze your inner thighs together, hold it here. Roll your shoulders forward, draw the chest in as much as you can. Holding it for 1. Good, 2. Sink the hips just a little bit lower. 3. Then exhale, draw the hands into the heart center in a prayer position. Keep lengthening up through the spine. Inhale, grow. Exhale, twist to the right. Pull your left hip back. Press the palms against each other. Reach the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, twist deeper. Gaze up and over your right shoulder. 1. Grow through the inhalation. 2. Twist deeper through the exhalation. 3. Good. Inhale, come back up through center, Utkatasana. Exhale, twist to the left. Drop your right elbow to the left knee. Press the elbow against the knee. Inhale, grow. Exhale, twist for 1. Stay breathing. Use the breath to find more space. 2. Good. 3. Inhale, rise back up through center. Exhale, take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, keep the bends in the knee. Inhale, gaze lifts, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, fold down, forward over the legs, forward fold. Take the shoulders up and over, really work the belly up on top of the thighs. Sink yourself down. 2. 3. 4. Inhale, rise back up through Utkatasana. Bend into the knees. Sink your hips low. Reach your arms up. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend. Exhale, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step your right foot forward between the hands. Left heel drops down. Reach up into warrior one. Hold it here. Draw the palms together. Gaze up into the thumbs. Really strong through your left leg. Pressing through the outer edge of the left foot for 1. Keep driving that left hip forward. Really draw that right hip back. 2. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Keep extending up through the spine. And 3. Exhale, bring it wide into warrior 2. So reach your arms out wide. open up through the hips to find length through your stance. Track that right knee out so you can just see that big toe. Keep the shoulders stacked up on top of the hips. Spine is nice and straight. 2. 3. Good. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes up. Keep reaching out through the right arm, extending out through the ribs. Keep drawing the hips down, lifting up and out of the lower back. Keep bending into that right knee. Use the breath to lift up and expand. 2. 3. Good, then inhale, breath pulls you all the way up to your warrior 2. Exhale, bring the right forearm down on the front thigh. Inhale, reach your left arm up and overhead, gaze forward. You can be here, or if you want to bring the hand down outside the leg, you can. If you don't have the reach, you can bring it to a brick. Wherever you are, roll the hips open, really strong in your glutes, gazing up to your left palm. 2. Keep breathing. 3. Good, then exhale, look down. Frame your front foot, step your right foot out. So come down into a nice little lizard. If you need to drop the knee, drop the knee. If you want to come down into the forearms, come down into the forearms. Just begin to work a little bit into the hips. Just holding, trying to be as active as you possibly can for 1. 2. 3. If you're on the forearm, stay there. If you're on the hands, stay there. Step back to your high plank. If you're on the hands, come down to a forearm plank. Just hold it here. Really tuck the tailbone under, engage through the core for 1. Press the ground away, engage into the arm tips. 2. 3. Lower the hips down to the mat, untuck the toes, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, squeeze your legs and the glutes, inhale, come up into a cobra. You can keep the elbows bent, you can work to extend the elbows, roll the shoulders back away from the ears, let the head come back. Really work to open the front of the body, but try and keep the lower back protected by engaging into the glutes. And exhale, come down. Tuck the toes under, press the ground away. Inhale up into a high plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward, right heel drops down. Rise up into your warrior 1. Hold it here. Keep breathing. 2. 3. 4. Bring it wide into warrior 2. Adjust the stance out, reach the arms wide, really open up through the hips. Hold it here, gaze forward over the middle finger, show a really strong gaze point, which is the drishti. Use that to find the concentration and stillness in the body. 2. 3. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, reverse your warrior. So left arm comes up and over, right arm comes back to that right thigh. Keep bending into that left knee, tracking that left knee out. Lift up and out of the lower back. Try not to let that top arm relax. Try and keep it extended up and straight. Really reaching out from the shoulder joint to extend out through the fingertips. Breathing 2. 3. Inhale, come up back to your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Either the left forearm on top of the thigh or left hand outside of the left thigh. Reach your right arm forward. Try and have that one line of energy from the outer edge of that right foot all the way up into the right fingertips. Keep really spiraling that chest open, rotating from the navel. 3. Exhale, look down. Release the hands down, come into your lizard. Shuffle that left foot out. Keep your right knee lifted, stay nice and strong through that back leg. Again, you can be here or you come down into the forearms and just begin to work into it a little bit. It's really good to work in. It's not always, well, it's great to find a little bit of movement in stretches and in poses to work into different areas. We don't always have to be static, but really searching for the subtleties of how can I find a little bit more space? Where can I activate a little bit more into? And step back to your forearm plank. Keep wrapping the triceps back, really engage through the core. 2. 3. Lower the hips down, untuck the toes, bring the hands in line with the chest, squeeze the glutes and the legs. Inhale, come up into your Cobra. For 1. 2. 3. Exhale, release down, tuck the toes under, press the palms down, inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward between the hands, left heel drops down, sweep the arms up, come up into your warrior 2. Exhale, sink down a little bit. Inhale, straighten the front leg, step the back foot in, reach forward. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up, find your Trikonasana. So rather than trying to get all the way down, expand the chest open, reach the crown of the head forward, pull back through the hips. 2. Stay with your breath. 3. Hold Trikonasana, look down into the right foot, bend into the knee. Slowly lift the left leg, right hand comes down outside of the foot. So bring it a little bit diagonal out. You can use a brick, a water bottle, or whatever you have there. Press your left foot back, really activate into the glutes. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Challenge your balance by beginning to gaze up to the left palm. Maybe the right hand begins to lift off the ground. Keep squeezing your inner thighs. 2. 3, exhale, left hand comes down, take standing splits, forehead draws towards the shin. So really think about internally rotating your left leg, trying to get more length rather than height. 2, keep drawing the forehead down towards the shin. 3, and step your left foot in halfway back down the mat. So a short warrior 1 stance. Bring the brick outside of your right foot if you have one, or you can just bring it to the shin. If you have the reach all the way down to the ground, that's great. Wherever you are works for you. Bring your right hand to the lower back. Pull that right hip back, lift up through that left hip, reach your chest forward. And inhale, reach your right arm up. Gaze comes up towards the top hand. So really think about engaging into the lower abdomen to find your balance. 2. Stay with your breath here. 3. Then exhale, right hand comes down. Frame the foot, step your left foot all the way back. Drop your knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. Reach your arms up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Gazes up to the thumbs. You can take this into as deep as a back bend as feels good for you, but you don't have to go so deep. What you're looking for is simply sensation. 2. Staying with your breath. 3. Good. Then inhale, breath pulls you up. Exhale the hands to the heart center in prayer. Bring your right hand to the right hip. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, cross it over. Press the knee against the elbow. Match your hands at the heart center in prayer position. Gaze up and over your right shoulder. You can stay here or tuck the toes under. Lift the knee. Press through your left heel. Keep gazing up and over for 1. Stay with it. 2. 3. Good. Then exhale, look down, frame your foot. Step back to a high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel into down. Sweep your arms up into your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Step your back foot in. Exhale, reach forward, grow. Left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up. Take your Trikonasana. Good. Holding it here. 2. 3. Exhale, look down, bend into the knees, shift the weight forward, bring the hand diagonally outside of the foot, lift your right leg up, open up the heart, gaze up towards the ceiling. 2. 3. Exhale, standing splits, forehead draws towards the shin. Try and really lift that right leg up as high as you can. 2. Keep engaging through the glutes. 3. And slowly step your right foot all the way back. Down to the mat. Bring your right hand outside of the foot. Find your variation, left hand to the lower back, reach your chest forward, extend. Then inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a revolved triangle. For 1. 2. 3. Exhale, hand comes down, frame your front foot. Step your right foot all the way back, drop your knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep up into your Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Gazing up. 1. 2. 3. Exhale the hands to the heart center in prayer. Left hand to the left hip. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, cross it over. Match the hands at heart center in prayer. Tuck the toes. Lift the back knee. Press through your back heel. Gaze up and over your left shoulder. 2. 3. Exhale, look down, frame your foot, step back, high plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And just take a moment to come back into your breath. Hello, we got cool. Then inhale, come forward into a high plank. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat, roll into the outer edge of the feet. If you need to, drop a knee or drop a forearm, do it. Otherwise, stacking the feet on top of each other, reach your left arm up and overhead. Create a nice banana shape with the body reaching out through the ribs, squeezing through the side core. 2. 3. Exhale, left hand comes down, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, come forward, left hand center, roll onto the outer edge of the feet. Reach the right arm up, overhead, squeeze up through the bum. Activate into your inner thighs. 2, 3. Exhale, release the right hand down. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up above the head, palms together, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, the hands to the heart center in prayer. Release the arms alongside the body, samastitihi. Hands to the hips. Inhale, step the left foot all the way out to the side. Come to a wide-legged stance with the legs prasarita. Inhale, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold down. Bring the hands down underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands back through. Crown of the head draws down towards the mat. For 1. 2. 3. Inhale, gaze lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands into the hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale. Inhale, bring the arms out wide. Exhale, hands behind, interlace the fingers, pull the shoulders back, look up, inhale. Exhale, prasarita D, fold down. For 1. 2. 3. Inhale, gaze lifts halfway. Just keep the chest parallel, reach the arms out to the side. Then exhale, bring the hands down. Take a hold of the big toes. Bind the index and middle finger around. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Holding it here for 1. 2. 3. Good. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release the hands, walk down over to the right. Take a little skandasana. If the heel's lifted, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, dropping the heel down, bring the hands into the heart center. Just hold it here. Drive that right heel down into the ground. Really flex the left toes towards you. 2. 3. Keep lifting the chest. Press through your right heel. Try not to use the hands if you can. Come over to the left side. Hold it here for 1. 2. 3. Inhale, come forward. Frame your front foot. Step back to a high plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Look forward between the hands. Step or jump through to a seated position. Extend your legs forward out in front. Flex the toes towards you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Coming down into your Paschimottanasana. Just holding it here for 1. Really focus on your breath and your bandhas. Really try to lengthen from your lower back. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. Inhale, halfway. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale, release the hands, bring them back, fingertips face forward, wrap your shoulders back, point the toes away from you. Press down through the palms. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, head drops back. If you need to bend the knees for this, bend the knees. We're just going to hold it for 3 breaths. Keep really engaging through the core, through the bum, through the hamstrings. See if you can lift up just that little bit more. 2. 3. Exhale, lower the bum down. Lift your legs up into Navasana, boat pose. If you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. Keep squeezing in the thighs. You can support with the hands, or they can be there. Or you can even reach the arms all the way up. Try and keep the spine long and the chest lifted. Stay with your breath. 2. 3. 4. 5. Draw the knees into the chest, cross your legs over, jump or step back, roll over the knees, come through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Look forward between the hands, come through to seated. Good. Draw your right knee into the chest. Sole of the foot comes into your inner left leg. Flex your left toes towards you. If your knee's lifted, just place like a brick or pillow or something underneath it. This is actually going to relax around the hip joint so the tissues can open rather than having tensed up in the air. Draw the left hip back. Try and really square that chest over your left leg. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, fold. So you could be there all the way down. You could be at the heel. You could just be at the shin. But same thing. Try and really lengthen from your lower back. Just for 2. 3. Inhale, come up. Take your right hand to the right knee. Draw back to center. Cross it over your left leg. Bring the right hand around. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, cross it outside of the left knee. Gaze up and over the right shoulder. Pressing the elbow against the knee and knee against the elbow to twist deeper. 2. 3. Inhale, look back through center. Exhale, release the legs. Inhale, lift up into Navasana. Cross the legs, jump or step back through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, come through to a seated position, extend the legs. Draw the left knee in. Sole the foot to the inner right thigh. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, fall down, Shavasana. Really working that chest down towards the knee as best as you can. Really try and squeeze the outer edges of the hips. 3. 4. Inhale, come up. Excuse me, take your left hand to the left hip, draw the knee back to center, cross it over the right leg, left hand comes behind. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, cross it outside of the knee, gaze over your left shoulder. Keep both legs really active for 1. 2. 3. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, unravel the legs. Lift your legs up into Navasana. Inhale. Exhale, cross the legs, jump or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bend your knees, look forward between the hands, come through to seated and come down to line onto your back. Draw the heels in towards the bum. Have the arms alongside the body. Press your feet down, lengthen your tailbone away from you. You want your fingertips just scraping the backs of the heels. Inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Taking a low bridge. Really keep active through the glutes. Internally rotating your inner thighs. Squeeze up through the hamstrings. Lengthen your tailbone away from you as much as you can. And slowly, slowly lower down. So if you want to stay in low bridge, you're of course more than welcome to. If you want to take it up into wheel and you know where you're going, of course, feel free. Set up your foundation wherever you're going. Inhale, lift up. Maybe this time if you're in low bridge, you interlace the fingers to wrap the shoulders underneath. Just for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. A gentle massage on the spine. A little rock and roll around. Then extend the feet up towards the ceiling. Point the toes away from you. So really squeeze your legs together. So if you're going into full shoulder stand, you're going to move the feet up and overhead. Arms come behind the lower back. Shuffle up into the shoulders. Then extend the feet up towards the ceiling. If you don't feel like doing that, that's absolutely fine. You can just take a brick underneath the lower back or a pillow or a folded up blanket or whatever you have that's near you. You can just be here with your legs extended up towards the ceiling. Arms alongside the body. Wherever you are, if you're in full shoulder stand, gazing towards your navel. If you're in supported, just looking towards the toes or the knees. Just trying to slow everything down. Letting the body relax. But still being active as best as you can. Just slowing the breath down. Just holding for another 3, 2, 1. So if you're in full shoulder stand, lower your feet down over the top of the head, bring the tops of the toes down into the mat. If your feet do not touch, that's absolutely fine. Just keep your legs together and rest the knees on the forehead. If the feet are down, you can extend the arms to interlace the fingers. If you are in the supported shoulder stand, you're more than welcome to stay there or just take a happy baby, so removing the block and taking a hold of the outer edges of the feet, drawing the knees into the sides of the ribs. Just for 3, 4, and 5. Slowly roll out through your spine wherever you are. Use your arms and core to stabilize you as you come out onto your back. Once you're there, draw both knees into the chest and give yourself a nice squeeze and a gentle hug and massage and roll around on the spine. And we're just going to finish with an easy twist. So if there's a variation that you love to do, of course, do feel free. Otherwise, just keep your legs together. Drop your knees over to the left. Bring your arms out wide to the side and let your gaze drop over to the right. Two. 3. 4. draw the knees back to center. Drop them over to the right hand side. Let your gaze travel over towards the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly draw the knees back to center. Give yourself one last squeeze and loving hug and gentle massage on the spine. And extending the feet to the edges of the mat. Bring the legs wide, arms alongside the body. Let your eyes close down, let the body be heavy. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Take a big inhale. Take one last big inhale. Stick out the tongue, lion's breath. And completely surrender and let go into your Shavasana. Let the breath go. Let the body go. Let yourself completely be. You're of course more than welcome to stay here as long as you like. If you want to stay for longer, just simply chuck me on mute and spend as long as you need. If you feel ready to come out, then just making your next inhalation a little bit deeper. Inviting a slight movement into your fingertips and your toes, your ankles, your wrists. Reaching the arms up and overhead, give yourself a nice big full body stretch out. One by one, drawing the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big hug and a squeeze. And gentle massage on the spine. And gently rolling over to the right, cushioning your head with your arms. Keeping your eyes closed, making your way into a comfortable seated position. And joining the hands at the heart center in prayer. Jai, Namaste. Awesome, guys. Thank you so incredibly much for joining me this evening and practicing with me. It was such an honor and a pleasure to lead you through that. Hopefully you'll join me on the mat again soon. To keep up to date with everything, just drop me a follow on Instagram at the space between the thoughts. Otherwise, enjoy, be well, and be safe. Jai.